Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Gina. Welcome, thank you for coming. This is a new channel and it is about narcissistic abuse, abuse recovery, and identifying the symptoms of this emotional whiplash. You know, we're going through some emotional whiplash when we find out that we have been subjugated to this kind of abuse. And it's also, you might be in the phase where you're wondering, maybe, is it really abuse? There are several phases and cycles to recovering, and it is cyclical. I am recovering from narcissistic abuse, and I have been since 2018. Since around summer of 2018, I really started ramping up, and a few times I have relapsed or fallen back. I found myself in certain areas of a cycle, and so I designed this channel to address those kinds of cycle stages, because you don't just learn about the symptoms, the causes, the different emotions you might be experiencing, the different thoughts, the different stages, the way it's manifesting in your life. You don't just, learn about this and then move on from it. There are several stages. For me, when I first started learning, I saw this syndrome, this disorder in everything and everybody and myself. And it was a really hard, miserable time for me. Because it's really hard to unsee it. It's like red pill, blue pill in the Matrix. It's like entering a different paradigm, and it's scary. And there are lots of people who still are not wise to this. I feel like it's a societal shift taking place, and that we need to be patient, but we can lead by example. So if you're here and you're learning about this, it's actually pretty new in society once more. Narcissism is very old. It's as old as time, but it goes through waves in humanity. And so it is a wave in humanity where it's especially prevalent. And so, and it's becoming, we're making people aware. We're becoming more aware. It does go along with kind of something called virtue theory, where Aristotle coined the term virtue theory. You can go back and learn about it if you want on Wikipedia, whatever, read about it wherever. And our virtues change. Our virtues change with the times. And so what might have ancient Greece and Rome were notoriously very narcissistic times, cities, in very cutthroat, exploitative, cold, emotionally cold, show no weakness, or, those were very, very narcissistic societies, and we have found ourselves in that again. And so what was virtuous back then is not necessarily what's virtuous now. And so we are recreating that. What was narcissistic back then, the traits and qualities back then, they might not be what's narcissistic now, you see. So we have to get out our experiences. Everybody should get counseling, no matter if you think you're a good person, a bad person, if you're scared that you're not the victim, but you're actually the narcissist in the relationship. What helped me start moving forward towards healing is that I realized I was in an abusive relationship. I had a really hard time placing the blame completely on one person. And so I fell into the fallacy of thinking that if he or she wasn't completely to blame, then it must be on me, right? But really what's happened is the bedrock of your relationship is abusive, and it's spongy. So it's moist, dark, not everything's out there's not a whole lot of truth in the relationship. It's a place where mold can grow, right? It's a place where moss can grow. It's slippery and slidey, and the boundaries and the foundation is shifting always with what's safe, what's appropriate, what to expect. Where are we going from here? You know, it's like walking on wet moss. And so that isn't your fault. I'm not going to discuss on this one about I'm not going to discuss, you know, how to make it work with a narcissist, although I am going to be making videos. I have videos already stored about that, and how to like cope if you're in an existing dynamic and you feel right now like you can't get out. I'm going to tell you something though. 9 times out of 10, after a couple years of learning about this stuff, I've seen people, they first started out saying, how do I make it work with them? How do I exist in this reality that I'm living in? You know, because they had to go through the phases, and by the time that they got out, they were not escaping. It wasn't like an emotional volatile escape. It was like, I'm fed up. I see it now. It's just too clear. I'm ready to, I love my reality so much. They have their reasons of what they're about, and I have my reality, and I'm not trading my reality ever again. I'm not trading my safety, my security, my strong, real foundation. You can't buy that from me anymore. No amount of ooey gooey love and love bombing from a narcissist is going to take that from me. And I do see that repeatedly, and it's really healthy. So if you're just getting started on your journey, you're going to be healthier. You know, it might take a couple years. That seems like a long ways away, but it's going to go by really fast. It's going to go by real fast, okay? Especially if you stick, you know, you do have to take breaks from these narc videos. I believe you need to go through phases. You need to ride the wave of these cycles of healing and recovery and awakening. It is an awakening process. It cannot happen all at once, or it will overload you. You do not have the skills yet. You haven't learned the skills fully yet to take it all in. It is a building process. It's a development, right? You're developing. So congratulations, you've just walked through this door. There have been times where I've fallen into like I wish I didn't know. Because sometimes I don't even know who I was back then when I didn't know about this. Because when I learned about it, I started to develop rapidly as a woman and as a person. And my life is so different now from when I started. And I am a gorgeous, intelligent, fairly independent woman. I'm in therapy, and I do utilize resources where I need to be independent and stable. And I'm not always really good at that. But that's a really problem from birth, like from childhood, that I have to work through. It took more than 2 years to make me that way, you know, more dependent. And so it's taking a lot long. It'll take a while to heal from it. And that's a development process. See, in 2018, when I learned, I didn't go straight into the resources and therapies to help me become self-sufficient. And you might want to think about doing that as soon as possible. If you're in a narcissistic family unit, an abusive relationship, an abusive bubble, then those resources, knowing what resources you need and where they are, how to utilize them, those are going to be sabotaged by the partner, whether they realize they're doing it or not. It's just usually how it's going to be, because this is what they do. And that can be really hard, especially right now. If you're watching, you might really still feel like you're in love with them. And you do love them. I want you to know you do love them. And you're also trauma bonded. It's both. You're allowed to have both. But in time, if you stick at this, if you just stick to this, and stick to the own quality of your heart. Stick to the pure quality of spirit and character that you have. Don't ever let go of it again. You never ever let go of it to begin with. You hid it away and protected it. Your spirit did that because somewhere along the lines, your spirit picked up the truth that this wasn't right for you. And your mind and your heart and your body, your flesh, your desires went down this path anyways. You may have not felt that intuition that they talk about. You may have not felt intuitively the red flags. You might not have known, the Halsey song Graveyard. She says, it's funny when the warning signs feel like the butterflies, right? And I just got chills from that. The warning signs feel like the butterflies. And now it's your time to choose you and to choose what are the butterflies and what are the warning signs. You might want to get out a pen and paper or pull out your apps that you can write lists on, the notes apps or whatever. Write yourself an email about what you're hoping will happen when you watch these videos. Who are you watching? Are you watching certain people that are like venting all the time and they get out this anger? There's this righteous anger, because that's really healthy to get out. But you want to measure that or equal that out with real psychological help that is helping you ask the right questions, right? For the future, and also to take you into the past. So I do think doing YouTube and all that is really helpful. I would love you to stick with me. I'm just building my channel, so I'm not super professional looking, but I know a lot. I care a lot. I devoted my life to this. And I'm also an astrologer, so I do readings, and I don't do like private coaching sessions or anything like that. I call it more spiritual wellness counseling. So if you'd like a session with me, we can pull out your astrology chart. I prefer to do that, but not everybody wants to. They're not sure about it until they have developed something with me. And so I am welcoming of that. If you don't want to pull out your astrology chart, that's okay. Some people are Christians. I'm a Christian astrologer, so I read the Bible and I study astrology. And it really works for me, and I feel like God has allowed it. But my practice of astrology is limited because I let God lead me only. So if there's certain things in astrology that I'm not supposed to be looking at, then I just listen to that feeling inside of me, and I don't venture down that way. It's really accurate, and you can see a lot of stuff in the astrology charts, but for some reason I've just learned to have self-discipline, and if it doesn't, if God says no, I listen. I do not. I have quit like steamrolling over God, telling God to shut up and leave me alone. That's my place in this life is to listen and be with God, and I live often kind of like a monk. I devote my life to my spirituality, to reading, learning, and counsel. And look at you guys, I need to get my nails done. Actually, I've been trying to learn how to do my own nails. Look at, these are those like glue-on ones, but then I went and I'm really snazzing them up and making them, but I'm learning. It's actually kind of hard. I'm gonna learn how to do all of my own nails, like from the salon. I love having fake nails. I'm gonna learn how to do it and then do my daughters and maybe friends once in a while, or like a client once in a while if they need some, if she needs to get like her mojo back. I could probably, if she comes to my house for some of my services, then I could do her nails or something. Yeah, I run an apothecary out of my house. I make herbal medicines, teas, massage oils. I work with women with reoccurring vaginal problems. You know, sometimes when our spirit is sad and fighting so hard to protect us and keep us alive emotionally and spiritually, our immune system can get really neglected. And our coping mechanisms are counterintuitive to full health. And so I spend a lot of my life focused on that stuff too. It brings me a lot of pleasure. Currently, I'm single. I like being alone. I never thought I would like being alone, but I'm not afraid to be alone. I do not, I'm not sure when I'm going to be ready to have marriage, but I would like to be a wife one day. I do know that. Well, that's my intro. I'm gonna go for tonight. Like I said, please email me. You can email me. The link is in the description of where you can reach me and my social media. Please like and subscribe to my page and support me while I get better at this. It really is important to me to get this information out. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not around any narcissists anymore. I've liberated myself from them. I tried many times to make videos about them and do what was right. And God did not allow the word to spread because I was still around them. And for me, on my path, I knew deep down I needed to not be around these people. It was a dark life. It was a dark cloud over my life. And that dark cloud is no longer. I am the authority in my own life. And my life is beautiful. And I can't wait to share my experiences with you. And I can't wait to hear yours and watch you grow and support you no matter what stage you're in. That's it, guys. Have a good night. Bye. Happy New Year. Oh my God, 2021. 2020's over. Oh, yay. Okay, bye.